What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for playpicks.com and thelines.com. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this AFC Championship game between the Tennessee Titans and the Kansas City Chiefs. Before we get going, as always, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button to this channel. We appreciate all the support you guys have given us all season long, all the content we do on the lines, on play picks, of course, here on the YouTube channel, completely free. So please hit that subscribe button so you're the first to know. Give us a thumbs up on the video and let us know in the comments how you plan on playing this game. Interesting game here. Several different ways this game could play out. Hopefully we'll run through all of those and you can see how you want to play it. First, let's kick things off here with looking at the lines. This is over at DraftKings right now. We are sitting, this is being taped very early on Saturday morning. So as we sit early Saturday morning, sitting at 7, and we are also looking here at 53 on the total. Over here at William Hill, we're sitting at 7 as well, looking at 53 on the total there. And over here at FanDuel, we still have the hook on Kansas City here at 7.5. 52.5 is what we're looking at on the total over here at FanDuel. I'll click over here. This is at the lines, completely free written breakdown here of the game. So I will sit here and let you take a look and read along as we go. Of course, there's a written breakdown over here at PlayPicks as well, and I'll scroll over to that one a little bit later in the video. Weather is going to be cold, mid-20s, but no wind, no precipitation. So listen, cold weather sucks for sure. It's going to be about 24 degrees, but no real wind to worry about. You can talk to people who've played the game, people who've played football. They're not worried about that. So don't worry about it being cold, and don't really put that into your handicapping too much here. What we want to worry about is wind, and kind of wind with precipitation sometimes is a big deal, but we don't have to worry about that. Injuries. Titans Adam Humphries returned to practice for the first time since week 13. They are, quote, hopeful that he is going to be able to play. So that adds another weapon in the pass game, at least kind of in that intermediate pass game there for Ryan Tannehill. So that's what getting him back out there. Adoree Jackson, Rashaan Evans, and Jack Conklin. Conklin being a part of that offensive line that has been so good for Derrick Henry. They are all questionable. Conklin actually popped up on the injury report midweek, which we know is never good. On the Chiefs side of everything, stud defensive lineman Chris Jones. We talked about him popping up on the injury report last week, midweek. He was a scratch for the game last week. He is very questionable this week. Why is that a big deal? By far their best run stopper. He is Pro Football Focus's number 7 overall rated interior lineman in all of the NFL. So Chris Jones not being out there, would he not be able to go this week? That's a pretty big hit for this defense. Travis Kelce was limited in practice. You probably read something about that, but he's good to go. You knew that. He's a beast. He said he's going to play. Don't worry about that, but just wanted to bring that up in case you were worried about that. These two teams did play already. You can see this ridiculous offer, by the way. If you're in Jersey, you can bet $1 and then you win $200 as long as a touchdown is scored this weekend in either one of the games. So take advantage of that. It's free money. Just go over here to the lines and click on that button right there. The Titans won 35-32 in week 10. So I don't really take a lot from that game. I don't think you should take a lot from that game either. Whenever we kind of look at the way that this Chiefs team has worked all year long, they've never really been whole, right? If you take a look, Week 1, Tyreek Hill gets injured. Multiple games missed by Tyreek Hill or Patrick Mahomes or Damian Williams or Sammy Watkins. Like, there's been someone hurt on this offense at some point or other pretty much all through the entire season. This is the first time that this offensive unit really has been at full strength. So take that into consideration that, they played before, but this Chiefs team, despite putting up really, really great numbers on offense, has never really been whole until now. Another thing to point out here for this Titans team, this is going to be their 4th consecutive road game. So whenever you date back to the final week of the regular season and then into the playoffs here, 4 consecutive road games for this Titans team, a month on the road of not sleeping in your own bed and getting your own treatment facility and all the different things like that. Now, I'm not a trends guy, as you well know, but some of you are, so I'll go ahead and give you this one. This has happened 4 times before in the playoffs. 2015 Steelers, 2013 49ers, 2009 Ravens, and the 2005 Panthers. In the 4th consecutive road game, every one of those teams lost. All 4 of them lost outright. 1-3 against the spread. Again, that's a lot of noise, but all 4 of those teams lost outright. Tough to go on the road for a month straight. Scroll down a little bit further if you want to continue to read along here. Let's talk about the pace of this game, because I know this is going to be something that everyone wants to talk about, because, hey, what is the key to victory here for the Titans? Run the ball with Derrick Henry. Well, so what does that mean for the Chiefs? How do they counterbalance that? How are they going to go about things? Well, the Chiefs, as you would expect, run at the 6th highest pace in the entire league, situation neutral pace in the entire league. Hey, if you got Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and Sammy Watkins and Patrick Mahomes and Mecole Hardman and all of these other guys, DeMarcus Robinson on offense, I'd want to run to the line and get plays off as well. I'd want to run as many plays as humanly possible and put the pressure on the defenses. So no shocker that they're 6th. Tennessee way down at 19th, as you would probably expect. Slow it down a little bit more, grind it team, not necessarily putting it on Ryan Tannehill's shoulders. So that's, if you're kind of looking at how maybe this game could play out, if the Chiefs get down somehow, they are going to be firing off plays. It's going to be fast as you can possibly imagine for them going. Once a Tennessee team gets a 7 or more point lead, they actually slow down even more, and they fall down even further as far as seconds per play in this game. So we'll talk about the total here in just a second, but keep that in mind as you are kind of putting things together here. Titans offense versus the Chiefs defense. So before last week, in that fluke kind of 24 points that Houston put up with all the weird things that were going on in that, the Chiefs defense had not given up 21 or more points in a game since the Week 10 matchup with this very Titans team. So you can see, and we've talked about this, if you've watched any of these other videos about this Chiefs team, the defense really solidified over the last month and a half of the season. Really came together, started playing some really good football, especially the pass defense. Pass defense was excellent over the last month and a half, 2 months of the season. You know about Tannehill's situation here. They have not allowed this guy to throw more than 15 passes over in either of the last 2 games. He has not thrown for over 88 yards in either of the last 2 games. He went for 72 and 88. The Chiefs, actually, I mentioned about that pass defense, actually the 8th fewest pass yards allowed per game here. So this Titans offense, of course, versus this, what's the defense? What does that point to? Get it going on the ground with Derrick Henry. It's not like this is any sort of shock. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. You know what they're going to do. They're going to pound the rock with Derrick Henry. They're going to feed him the ball until they no longer have that option should that play out that way. Should the Chiefs somehow get up 3 scores or whatever. But until that point, I would imagine even then we will still see tons of Derrick Henry. I can't imagine them possibly getting rid of the run with Derrick Henry before at least, towards the end of middle of the 3rd quarter to the end of the 3rd quarter, when all hope is lost from that aspect of their game. The way that you get at this Chiefs defense is on the run. One of the worst run defenses actually over the course of the season anyway in the league. And of course, if Chris Jones isn't out there, as we mentioned, another big hit for this defense. The Chiefs offense versus the Titans defense. I'll flip over here. You can start reading about what Nate thinks over here on Play Picks. Chiefs offense, again, huge numbers, despite the fact that they really were not whole at one point for the majority of the season here. 28 points a game, 379 yards a game. They threw for 281 a game, 6.2 yards per play. All of these massive numbers here. So what we have to ask ourselves is this Titans defense actually much better than we saw, because we've seen this team win 2 weeks in a row? Is it much better than we saw during the regular season? Well, look, yeah, some of it came in garbage time, but if you look at this Ravens game, they still gave up over 530 yards to the Ravens, right? And it needed a perfect storm for everything to happen for them to win that game, where 3 turnovers by the Ravens stopped them on 4th and 1 2 different times, where the Ravens were converting all 4th downs at a 71% clip. Stop them on 4th and 1 2 different occasions. Lamar Jackson plays his worst game passing of the year. And even that, there was a drop touchdown with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in that game that would have brought the Ravens within 1 score of the Titans and made that a whole new ball game. And so I don't think that, no, I think the answer is no. I do not think that this is some crazy revelation that we got from this Texans team here, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And listen, as we mentioned, Adoree Jackson's questionable. So even if he goes, which he probably will, but even if he goes, he's not going to be 100%. Are they really going to shadow Tyreek Hill with Adoree Jackson? Were they not 100% Adoree Jackson? This seems crazy town to me if that would be the case. So now you got just guys playing their sides and you're able to kind of like do what you want to on offense here. The Titans faced the top 10 easiest schedule of opposing quarterbacks all season long and still got toasted through the air. So keep that in mind as we go on here. I'll scroll down a little bit further as we kind of talk through a little bit more. You can see how Nate wants to play this game. I think it's probably going to be a little bit different than me. So on the side here, I don't like that it's juiced now. That's unfortunate, but I'm on the Chiefs at 7. As soon as this thing hit 7 and the hook fell off, I jumped on it. I didn't have to pay the juice, fortunately, but as soon as the hook fell off, this is exactly when I jumped on the Chiefs here. This seems like an absolute incredible smash spot for this Chiefs team. The big weakness for this Titans team's in the secondary. The absolute strength of this Chiefs offense is throwing the ball. Patrick Mahomes, healthy. Tyreek Hill, healthy. Damian Williams in the backfield, healthy. Sammy Watkins back, healthy. You still have Mecole Hardman, who's a crazy burner as well and can do things in the pass game. It's just, you look at everything that's going on, it's a perfect storm here of great run by the Titans meeting just a really terrible, terrible matchup for them in this Kansas City Chiefs team. Now, listen, you're going to say, Matt, but what about Derrick Henry? Listen, I think Derrick Henry actually still has a good game. It doesn't really matter to me whether Derrick Henry has a good game or not as to whether I think the Chiefs are going to win the game, because I think Derrick Henry can still run for 155 yards, 160 yards in this game, and the Chiefs still win handily. Because the fact of the matter is even when he is just going out there and churning up 6 yards, 6 yards, 6 yards, 6 yards, 6 yards, they will eventually stop. He's not going to score every single time he gets the ball. The Titans are not going to score every single time they get the ball. They're not going to be able to continue with this run game the way that they have been doing and go out there and score every single time. I actually think there's a chance that the Chiefs actually could. They might punt only one time in this game. And I do not think that the Titans have the firepower to keep up with the Chiefs, even with Derrick Henry having a huge game here. All they need is a stop or two, and then things can flip on their head here. And then, worst case scenario, what if they get down a couple scores? What if they get down 3 scores? What do you do then? I understand you're going to read a whole bunch of stuff about Tannehill and his efficiency this year and how high he was rated and all the things like that, but that was when things were going well. You understand that they finished up the season 6-2. They were on this great run here. Everything was going great. So when you're throwing, you're running play action when things are going well and game script neutral, people don't really know that you've abandoned the run, that, Derrick Henry's still an option and all of that. Things work then. You take the shots down the field, things work. What's going to happen if Tannehill is in a situation where they know he's going to pass, where he has to drop back 40, 45, 50 times in this game or something like that in order to play catch up and make this happen? Do you think they have the same success then? With the rookie receivers and A.J. Brown, he's been amazing. Still a rookie receiver. Corey Davis is an afterthought. Yeah, you get Adam Humphries back, but he's not 100%. And that's if he even plays. Hopeful that he plays. Listen, I think that what Tannehill and the Titans have done has been absolutely amazing, but I think the game totally flips on its head if you know what they have to do, if there is no surprise at all with the play action, with the game plan, with anything that's going on. So big on the Chiefs here. I think Patrick Mahomes has a huge day throwing the ball. I think there's a big mismatch between this offense and that secondary, and that the Chiefs have a huge day there. On the total, I think this is fairly correlated here with how you want to go about playing this game. If you disagree with me and you think that if you're on the Titans here and you like the Titans, well, then you're going to be on the under as well. So if you think that if you like the Titans to win this game, or if you like the Titans to keep this thing close, then you're on the under as well. Because I don't see any path to success or path to victory for this Titans team to try to go score for score with the Chiefs. It's going to be run Derrick Henry, take the air out of the ball, keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. Don't let them come out there and do what they did to Houston and just fire, bam, score. So I think it's fairly obvious, if you disagree with me how this game's going to go, and if you want to if you think the Titans keep this close or even win outright, if you're on the Titans, then I think you should be on the under as well. It seems as obvious a correlation to me as you'll see in a hot minute. I actually think this thing also could push up a little bit higher. I'm not going to say wait it out, but I think you might even get another half point here, 53.5, maybe even 54. I think this thing could push up even more before kickoff because I just think people are going to want to bet the over in this thing after what the Chiefs did last week. So if you're playing the total, I actually lean towards the under either way. And it goes a lot back to the way that I handicap the game from the spread side here. I think even if the Chiefs have a ton of success, I don't think that necessarily equates into success for the Tennessee Titans. Because again, if you get them out of their game plan, if you force them to do something that they don't want to do, which is throw the ball a ton, rely on Ryan Tannehill, rely on the rookie receiver, rely on the backup tight end, Jonnu Smith. So these are the things here where if you get them out of that game plan and they're not able to do what they want to do, I don't have a ton of confidence that they're going to be able to move the ball and score a bunch. Further, when you really kind of dig in a little bit more in this, I mean, listen, again, this is just a really good pass defense for the Chiefs. I mean, it's so yeah, they'll have some success on the ground. I think Derrick Henry is still going to crush, and we'll talk about props in just a second, but I think he's going to have a great day. But I don't think that necessarily equates into a ton of points for this Titans team. And I don't think that necessarily means that it's going to be an absolute shootout here. So I actually lean towards the under on both scenarios as to how this game could possibly play out here. So let's talk about some player props and how we want to go about attacking these. I think there are, again, some pretty correlated ways to play this. You can look right here, 235.5 passing yards for Ryan Tannehill. If you believe that they play well, you know that that's going to go through Derrick Henry. We've seen this play out over the first two games. Didn't even have more than 15 pass attempts. Didn't have more than 88 yards passing because they didn't have to. They just relied on Derrick Henry. So if you believe that the Titans are going to do extremely well, if you believe that this is the Titans game, if you think that, hey, they're going to run all over them, not going to be any, then you're playing the under on Tannehill passing yards. Easy. That's slam dunk all day long. You're taking that. So, again, you can see some people have already started to pound it. We're sitting at juiced at 134. Maybe you can get it a little bit cheaper over here at, well, it's fewer yards, so it means 230 as opposed to 235, but you're paying much less juice. So if you want to get it over on FanDuel, it's at 230 right here, and you can play the under. But again, very, very correlated to me. If you believe in the Titans and you believe in their game plan, and you believe in them winning this game and keeping it close and all the things like that, it is Henry overs and Tannehill unders when it comes to props. So you take a look here, rushing yards. I don't think that's even enough, even if things kind of go sideways for the Titans here. Look, Derrick Henry is as sure to get 23 carries in this game, I think, as you could possibly imagine. I cannot come hell or high water think of them abandoning the run before they absolutely possibly have to. So when you look at 109 here, you're like, damn, that is a lot. It is a lot. I agree. But I can't imagine a scenario. I mean, you can see it's all the way up at 110 over here on FanDuel. I cannot see a scenario where he does not get it going on the ground and is able to do whatever he wants to do on the ground. So I'm going to play Henry over either way. And that's even with me thinking that they are going to, that I think the Chiefs are going to play extremely well in this game. I also have a very small play on the over on Patrick Mahomes at 302 yards. Again, I think that there's going to be a ton of success through the air for Patrick Mahomes here, and I think they're going to have a really, really good day through the air. So I do have some over on Patrick Mahomes at 302 as well. So, guys, that's how I'm going to be playing this game. Hopefully this breakdown, and hopefully I talk through things a little bit better this time. I know some people were saying, you talk to stats too much. There are too many stats in here, so I can go find that for myself. So, yeah, some people can, some people can't, but I did work in some stats, but I hopefully explained why those stats were important to me whenever I was going through the research and kind of breaking down the game here. But again, I feel like you can have a good game with Henry. Things can still go the Chiefs' way here. Chiefs 7 for me. Still lean towards the under no matter what, how this game plays out. If you think the Titans are going to keep this thing close, definitely you're going under here as well. You're going Henry overs and you're going Tannehill unders. And when it comes to the props side of things. Guys, really appreciate you watching this. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the thumbs up if you appreciate what's going on here. And then in the comments, let me know how you're going to play this game. Does anything that we've talked about along the way make sense to you, not make sense to you, whatever it might be? Let me know in the comments. Sure do appreciate hearing from all of you guys out there. And of course, we'll have a breakdown of the NFC Championship game on the channel as well.